it as a compliment.
Happy Friday! Are you guys ready for the best show ever? Ever! Welcome to Date Night with Connie and Chrissy. I'm your host, Connie Enriquez, and my fab co-host, Crazy Chrissy Bo.
Am I really crazy though? Do you think?
We say the same crap every week.
I
No,
know.
you're not. You're not.
You
We're
don't think
different, but not crazy. Sometimes you're crazy.
You're making everybody think I am.
I know. Sometimes you are, actually.
Thanks a lot, guys.
A little bit.
Thanks a lot.
A little bit.
Tom just said he would never work with me.
He works with me directly because Crazy Chrissy sometimes gets too crazy.
Him and I are too much alike.
Totally.
Right? We butt heads.
So, dude, how was your week?
How was my week? We went to the hospitality
I know, the
ball.
hospitality ball. We had a ball, didn't we?
Alec Baldwin's hospitality ball. That was off the hook. That was
We
the
had-
first time we ever went.
It's true.
And it was more packed than ever because you couldn't go outside because it was raining.
And it was crazy. You
So
couldn't even
that's-
park in the parking lot.
Right.
You had to, like, park miles away and get a
We
shuttle.
had our own personal chauffeur, though. Kenny. Shout out to Kenny. I love him.
Kenny with his Escalade was so awesome.
loved
He picked
him.
us up and scooted us over, right?
I'm Facebook friends with him now.
Oh, perfect.
He's a bodyguard, too. I'm going to hire him.
Damn.
He's going to be the date night bodyguard.
I love it.
I know. It was fun, though, right?
It was totally fun. They had awesome food.
We got to interview the Giants guy,
We did. And we got to meet up with some cool peeps, right?
Regina and Karen.
Regina
we saw
and
them
Karen,
on the
who
red
we
carpet.
love, and they did an amazing job
Yeah,
of
they did.
hosting
They
the
looked
whole
great.
event. They did.
Who else did we interview? Frank Prince.
Oh my
He
God!
was doing the Don
Frank
Rickles,
Prince. Yes, he was adorable. He did a great job.
He was-
Of course, Frank Mullen of Suffocation, who's our fave.
Frank, where are you? You're
Fave.
supposed to be our
I
live
know,
audience.
Come on, Frank and Natalie, where the hell are you?
Where are you guys?
And then we had some giant person, right?
Oh, wait, well, first let's go to the pictures from the hospitality.
Oh, and yeah, there we go. Oh, we met up with Dina Lohan.
How
And
can
she-
we forget that?
Exactly.
That was like
And
the
she was
highlight
like
of my...
super nice. She was like so beautiful.
She
in
ran up
person.
to me in the bathroom.
She did. She
She
totally
thought she
remembered
knew
you. She
She
remembered
remembered
you.
me, guys. She remembered me.
She did.
Her and I look like we could be mother and daughter in that
You
picture,
totally
right?
do. Yep.
That's funny.
I agree.
She was awesome.
She was totally awesome.
I love
And then
her.
here it's us with Ed Jarvis, Ed Cookie Jarvis.
Oh, yeah, you're friends with him.
If
nice.
you live on Long Island, then you know if you need any real estate needs, look up Ed Cookie Jarvis. We love him. He's awesome.
What was he, in a cookie eating contest?
No, he used to be in a an eating contest. He was.
Right, because on the back of his car, it's
Yes,
him
you're
eating like a
right.
pizza.
You're right. I forget which one he was, but yeah, he's.
I love
he's
that
done a
that's on
bunch
his
of it.
real estate card. What the? That's a way to
If you
catch
need
a
real
kid.
estate needs, go see him.
And if you need
he's
to
awesome.
eat, go see. And who else?
Crazy.
Who was on the?
What?
Who else was on the pictures?
That was it.
And us with Tom.
Oh, and the boss man, Tom Mealy,
He had the
of course.
flower hanging out of
And
his
we had a
mouth.
video too, but it's not yet ready, so you gotta wait for that one.
Our hospitality ball one.
Yes.
Oh yeah, you guys got to wait for that one.
For
maybe
behind the
next week.
scenes,
But
exactly.
literally, I'm exhausted. Like I feel like we don't even sleep.
I feel like you're right. I feel like Friday night comes and it's like, oh, there's the
Right.
show.
We have like events every night before Friday.
Yep. A couple with some
What did we
dates.
do after hospitality ball? Oh, what date did you have? Let's talk about it.
Great dates. Great
Maybe
dates.
we could talk about we're our law of attraction coach today.
That's right. Right. So Chrissy, before we get to our next, who's our guest today? As we totally
This is going to be my
skipped. We
favorite,
totally
guys.
skipped.
Susan Ferraro. She's a mindset coach and law of attraction expert. I love this stuff. I'm
Oh my
so
God.
into it.
Yep.
I can't wait to have her on. I love it.
She's gonna be great.
I'm going to attract my soulmate.
Oh
U-
man.
Using her
Here we
6
go.
steps, guys. I can't wait. I really can't wait.
We're-
But before that, after the hospitality bowl, we went to go see
The
Ray. Steve.
the very cool Steve Carl of Carlisle and the Green.
Yes, he's
Just-
awesome.
Yeah, just so you guys know, if you are single, and even if you're not, if you're in a relationship, Wednesday night started this past week, Party
Yes.
in the Park.
It's awesome.
At
They have
Carlisle
live
and the
bands.
Green in Bethpage, New York. It was amazing. We had so much fun. The food's
Yeah.
awesome. The drinks are awesome.
They have that 70s band.
They do.
every
They don't have
Wednesday.
Tito's, but they do have Kettle One, and Kettle
They
One
did not have
obviously is
Tito's.
great.
Steve, we need you to get Tito's ASAP.
Exactly.
If
But
you want us
Steve-
back.
Yes, exactly. So we had an awesome time there. So we highly recommend Wednesday nights if you need to go out, which we all need to go out. Head out to Party in the Park in
Where's
Carlisle
our
and the Green.
Where's our pictures with?
Oh
good
yeah,
old-
Steve
good old
Carl.
Steve.
Come on, not
old
that
Steve.
one. No.
Steve.
No, where are you, Steve? I want to say it's picture number 4. Maybe I don't have my glasses.
God, guys.
All right, so
Do you have Steve?
Yes, there it is, Steve. The very cool Steve. And that was just outside.
He was awesome.
He was very awesome.
What a nice guy.
Exactly.
And he has all those shirts that are numbered.
Yes, Steve is known for his crazy, funky shirts, which we love.
Yes. He says
like,
there's shirts after him.
He
They
has
have
like
shirts made
1,700
after him.
of them. Which you gotta give him kudos for that. That's
I
pretty
know.
awesome.
He has more shirts than me.
He's quite fashionable.
I'm going to his wardrobe next.
Exactly.
When I need something to
I want
wear.
to see his closet.
He'll be a guest on our show soon.
Totally. So just look out because he's going to be a guest.
So that same night, you would think that was our whole night. No,
But
it wasn't our whole
that
night.
was just part one.
That was part one, guys.
Then we had part two.
Part two was Rick Eberly.
Yeah, Rick Eberly, who's very cool too.
At the Rising Stars. He hosts a show on Verizon Fios.
And we met
it was
up
at Revolution.
Revolution in Amityville.
Right. And we actually interviewed Rick. If we can pull
There's
that
our
up.
picture with Rick. But yes, Vic, if you could pull up the video. Now listen, it's very dark.
It's very dark, guys.
So bear with us. It's probably sideways too. But hey, that's how we roll. What?
Ran into Rick Eberly, PR guru of Long Island. What's up, Rick?
Hey, how are you? What's going on?
Revolution.
Yeah, we are. Revolution Amityville, club loaded.
What are we doing here tonight?
Rick's Rising Stars, which is a TV show that focuses on local artists from the tri-state and mostly Long Island area.
And who do we have tonight?
We have Kayla Stockert from the Sayville area. We have Brooke Moriber, who is from West Hampton Beach. We have the Blue Bullet Band. I believe they're from Rockville Center area. And then you have Elliot and the Ghosts, and they are from Lindenhurst, I believe. I'm sorry, guys. I might be wrong. Yeah.
So what happens? They battle against each other? Is it like American Idol?
No, these are artists that have already submitted to us, and we've chosen them as some of the best. And from there, they're now going to get their opportunity to showcase their talent on air, and then they're interviewed after they play.
That's awesome. All right, and tell us about, you're in a band. I didn't know this.
Come on.
Iridescence, yeah, we've been around 20-something years, not to date myself. We've had songs on Nickelodeon, Drake and Josh, iCarly, Zoe 101, and we're back with a new record, the first one in a bunch of years. Really excited, and we're playing the main stage at the Space in June.
What do you do?
I sing. That's my main thing. And I also play rhythm guitar, and I act crazy and sweat on stage.
Can you sing a little bit for us? Do a little bit.
No pressure.
No pressure.
I want to hear it.
I don't want to be anything other than what I've been trying to be lately.
It's like Gavin DeGraw.
That's enough.
All I gotta do.
That's enough. That's all you get. You got to come on June 13th.
All right, where is it? Tell everybody.
At the Space in Westbury. That is on Post Avenue in Westbury.
Where do we get the tickets?
The Space at Westbury.com.
I like your radio voice.
Check it out and be there.
Radio DJ. I'm a little bit retired right now, but I'm available for special needs.
Now he's giving out his services. All right.
You know it. Any service you need.
Tell
PR.
everybody to watch Date Night with Connie and Chrissy.
You got to watch Date Night with Connie and Chrissy.
Fridays on 7:30 on MadhouseTV.com.
Thank you, Rick.
Thank you.
I love that he does the radio voice. Thank you.
That was good. Good job.
All right,
No, we're
thank you,
back.
Rick. That was awesome. We loved you. Thank you for inviting us. There was awesome musicians there that night.
We had such a blast.
I know.
They didn't have Tito's either, just by the
No,
way.
but I love live music, so I can listen to that all day.
And guys, just so you know too, Madhouse just
out with their own
launched
book.
their new edition. That's the first edition of their book. And guess what? We are in it. Yay!
Yay, we made
We're
it.
So make sure that you get your copy. It's going to be available on the website on
Yes.
MadhouseTV.com.
I love that we made the
don't-
cut.
Of course, totally. We totally made the cut. Wait until next year. We'll be more.
We'll be on the cover. We'll be on the cover, Tom.
So
Tom,
don't
we're
forget
gonna own
to
this place
Don't
by
forget
next
to get
year.
your copy, MadhouseTV.com, when it's available.
Yes.
We'll sign it for you.
All right, what's your self-love help tip of the
My
week?
Start Living Life tip of the week is, Vic, you ready? You got it? Stop trying to be positive. Instead, stop focusing all your attention on what's not working. It's really that simple. So,
You always tell me that.
right, like how many times when someone's like, oh, I'm trying to be positive, but the whole but, and then they go into this whole thing about how what's not working is really not working.
Right.
So this is the biggest thing. You don't have to try to be positive. Positive is just focusing on what you want. Very, very simple. So if something's not working, you want to look at the opposite of what you want. So you don't have to try to be positive. Just focus on what you want. Right?
Right.
Very
You
simple.
always tell me that.
I do.
Whenever I'm being negative, you're like,
Well, I say other things, but yes.
You say a lot of things to me, but we
I'm
won't.
like, Chris,
I need to like an earpiece when I'm out.
you do. Like, I think on dates.
Yeah, on dates especially. I'm like, hold on, guys, I gotta see what Connie's telling
I'm
me.
like,
to
do
say.
not say what you're going to say.
Yeah, yeah, that would be great. We should start a business doing
Don't
that.
say you're going to marry Eric Decker. You're going to ruin the date.
I did attract him, thanks to Laura,
You did,
our
yeah,
life
exactly.
coach that was on
Exactly.
previously.
Exactly.
He was in my vision book.
He was. And you met him.
Yep, guys. Thanks.
All
for bringing it up
right.
again.
So, Chrissy, I want to hear.
Oh.
I want to hear about your bestie of the week.
All right, Vicky, my bestie of the week. All right, well, if you're breaking up with someone, there's an app for that now.
Bestie number one.
So, first, if we could go to the pictures, you pick who you're ending it with, so whether, male or female. And then you would select, either if it was serious or casual, right? Mm-hmm. This is cool. I'm downloading this app.
Let me just say this. Chrissy
What?
sends me this stuff, and then I put it onto the USB, and we bring it in and stuff. And when she sends me this stuff, like literally during the day, I'm like, what the hell?
You start laughing.
I totally start laughing.
But it's awesome. You could send texts like, I lost interest. I found somebody else. No, but my two favorite ones are, I was eaten by a bear. Guys, I was eaten by a bear. Or I was kidnapped by Russians. I'm going to use that on somebody. I'm using it.
Totally.
But if you want to win someone back, they
There's
actually
actually
now
a
created
makeup text.
a makeup app. Mm-hmm. So you can send, these, you're not going to like these. I love you more than anything, and I want another chance.
God.
You cringe at that.
Uh-huh.
But anyway, it's only 99 cents.
Unless they deserve it, of course.
On iTunes. And actually, this app was featured on Jimmy Fallon, Late Night with Jimmy Fallon, who I
really?
love, and Good Morning America. So
Well, I love because part of the makeup app is that you can say, I'm sorry, but I was kidnapped by Russians. So I'm
sorry,
I'm
I was
ready to make it
kidnapped.
work again.
But now I realize that I love you.
Right.
And I miss you.
Right. I think that would be funny. Like, that would be a cool icebreaker.
It would. But how many people nowadays break up through social media, texting? Like, nobody
feel
breaks
like
up
never.
in person anymore. People do it through the phone.
You think so?
No one breaks up in person.
You think they do it on social media?
Yeah. Well, through phone and texting.
Really?
On the phone and texting, yeah.
Oh my
I don't
God,
think
that's-
anybody does it in person anymore.
You don't think so?
These people are millionaires now. Why don't we come up with an app?
Oh my God.
I
I would be
feel-
distraught. Note to self. No.
You would be distraught?
If I got a text, like I'm hanging out with you for months, and then you give me this text, and it's like,
I know, but
hello,
that's what people do, Connie.
I've been kidnapped by Russians.
We're going to ask our law of attraction coach how to not attract that type of person.
Exactly. Text
can't
breaking
wait.
apps.
All right, so should we take a break and then come back with Susan? I
Let's
can't wait.
do it. Let's fill up any Tito's and come back and
All right.
a couple.
Grab a Tito.
Being a fireman is more than just putting out blazes and giving kittens CPR. Sometimes my duty demands I fan the flames, like when a call comes in from a lady who needs immediate assistance. Maybe she needs help with a computer thing. Maybe she wants to go antique. Could be as simple as understanding that walking in heels it's hard. Aussi simple que l'été dernier à Paris. C'est sympa. Maybe it's ladies' night in, and she wants a simple, delicious recipe for margaritas with a twist. First, a can of limeade. Now hold on to this. You'll be using it. Side note, kittens make everything better. Next, add water. Now, a bottle of light beer. No, shh. Trust me, I'm a professional. And last, and most important, Sauza Blue Tequila. Now, mix it up. Ole. Yes, that's what I'm trained for. Whether it's to help her choose leggings or pants, telling her leggings are pants, or discussing leggings and jeggings versus pant pegging at her next ladies' night in, I'll come to the rescue. Don't call me a hero. Just call me. Let me know what time.
This one, the middle.
She can't even see 5. We're back.
Are we back?
Yes.
Oh, we're back with Susan Ferrara, the Law of Attraction
Yeah.
coach, mindset coach. I'm so excited. All the way from Delray Beach, right?
Yes.
Oh, cool. We love that.
And
Don't
she
make me-
attracted it. And
I
she's
did.
She's going to tell us all about that, too. I
We
can't
love
wait.
it.
Susan, thank you for being here. We appreciate it.
We're so excited to have you. We love Law of Attraction crap.
I know. Oh, crap.
So,
I believe in this.
too.
stuff.
so do I. All right. So, Susan, your first question is this, okay? Obviously, Law of Attraction over the last couple of years, which is very exciting, has become very mainstream. So many people are very aware of that term. However, there are many people and possibly viewers that are not aware of that term.
Yeah.
So can you please explain what Law of Attraction actually is?
Absolutely. So the law of attraction, the law of attraction is a large concept. Can you hear me okay?
Not
Sorry.
really. Oh, can you shut the speakers off?
I'm not sure how to do that.
No, now we hear
No,
you
you sound
good.
better. Okay, good. Good.
Okay.
Yes, now you sound great.
Sorry, guys.
No
okay,
problem,
so the
Susan.
law of attraction, I want you to think of a law like gravity, okay? Law means that it's happening regardless whether you believe it, whether you don't. And what it means is everything in the universe is energy. At its very basic level, everything is energy. So we're made up of the same energy that, a house is made up of, that the earth is made up of, that money is made up of. It's all the same thing. And the law of attraction states that like energy attracts like energy.
I love it.
I love it. All right, cool. So now, Susan, how did you actually get started in this?
So when I was young, I was a very creative and imaginative child, and I was always, dreaming a lot, daydreaming a lot. I would fantasize a lot. I would wish for things a lot, and a lot of the times I would get them. Or sometimes I would imagine a scenario, and it would happen. And, I grew up with a younger sister who would often accuse me of being the one who always got what she wanted, and, which just reinforced the belief that I always got what I wanted. And I was very visual in my mind. And over the years, I wasn't really consciously using it until about 18 or 19. I discovered a book called Creative Visualization by Shakti.
Which I
Oh my
have.
God, that
I
was
have that
my
book,
first
guys.
book too. I love that
I love that book.
That was my first book.
Awesome book.
Yeah,
Awesome book.
Shakti
And
Wayne.
that was the first time I realized there was a name for what I was doing. Like it was something.
Right.
And at that point, I wasn't like totally into it yet, but I was just like, wow, this is cool, and I started to play with it around like things like clothes, or I actually became a fashion designer, and I was always drawing clothes and things that I wanted in that sense.
Right.
And I would get them. Things that I would make up in my head. So a few years went by, and I was just playing with it. I was in fashion school at the time. I was like in my early 20s, and I was in a bookstore. I was telling Chrissy this the other day, in a bookstore, and it was just me and one other person in the aisle. And I was always into the New Age aisle, the astrology, all of that. I was very interested in. And a book literally fell off the shelf and hit me at the feet. And I looked over at the guy. He was about 5 feet away, and he was just like, I would read that if I were you. It was too weird.
So you better buy that.
I picked up the book, and it was a book called Ask and It Is Given.
favorite
by-
Oh
book.
God, I love Esther Hicks.
Yep.
Yeah.
If my live audience was here, they would agree.
I know.
But they're not.
That's
So,
one of the greatest books ever.
I think that is one of the best books ever written on the law of attraction.
I agree.
But at the time, I wasn't as, it was very new for me, and I'm not sure if, you guys are familiar with the book. So
Right.
Esther actually channels an entity called Abraham, and this was all very woo-woo for me.
Right.
I was very much into this. I had always seen psychics, but even this was a little hard for me to grasp at the time. But, I read it and I played with it. And over the years, as I was very into my career, and I would started to use my exercises in my career. So like for promotions, I once attracted this crazy living situation where I was working for a pretty big US company. And this was before the time where people worked virtually. They allowed me to leave and work virtually from another state as a full-time employee. So I still got all of my full benefits, everything, and I could work from home. So it was kind of a big deal at the time. And the way that I had done it was simply just enjoying myself. Every morning I would wake up and my friends were there, my boyfriend was there, and I would write out what I wanted my life to be like there. And I was half doing it as like, I really want this to happen, and half doing it just because it felt good. Right. It felt good for me to visualize that. And, a few months later, it was like boom, 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 domino effect. Wow. And all of a sudden I was there. And that, I think, was the turning point for me. That's when I dove in head first. I think I was about 26. Dove in head first. The Secret was coming out. I was trying to tell everyone, gotta watch this movie, gotta read these.
Me too. I got my whole family into it.
Yeah. They thought I was nuts.
Yep. Me too. I got that too.
Yeah. So finally now, 20 years later, I found a group of people who will listen to me. So that's pleasant. But no, I just dove in head first, and I was already doing it. So I wasn't researching from the perspective of how can I learn how to do this? Right. I was researching from a different perspective where I was like, okay, I'm doing this. It worked. It worked this time, but why didn't it work this time?
That's a good point.
Yeah,
and we'll get to that.
Yeah, exactly. Why isn't it working for this?
That's a key. That's something I always want to know.
That was just kind of like my driving force. I had to figure that out, and I did. Over the years, I finally left the fashion industry in about 2012, and I did very well for myself. My last position was as the design director for Kate Spade New York. Wow. I'm grateful for everything that I had in the industry, but at the same time, it was very high pressure. I left burnt out. I wasn't sure what I wanted to do next. I didn't have this in mind. I was studying to be a health coach at the time, actually.
At Institute of Integrated Nutrition, I bet.
Yeah.
Like everyone else. Yeah.
It's the gateway.
But Susan.
Yeah.
A lot of our viewers, they want to know how to attract a mate because everyone's sick of online dating and attracting the wrong people. What are the steps that we do to attract our soulmate or the right mate for us?
So what I have come up with, what I have realized through my journey was that there were 6 crucial pieces that are going on when you're consciously attracting, deliberately creating. And I realized that when I wasn't getting what I wanted or getting what I was intending to receive, there was one of these 6 steps, or I call them steps, but they don't always have to go in order. Right. But one of these 6 pieces were missing. Okay. And I'm going to take you through the 6 steps, and I'll take you through them really quickly, just what their names are, and then we can go through and I can show you how it would work with a person. But what I want to tell you is that these 6 steps are universal. So whether you want to attract a mate, first of all, it's a person, whether you want to attract a significant other, a new boss, employees. I use it for my web developer. Wow. I use it for everyone. Wow. The kind of people that you want to work with, it also works for anything, money, homes.
I love it. Let's get to it. Come on. I love it.
Our audiences are sitting on the edge of their seat. They're like, "What is it? Tell us! Hurry up! I need to attract it."
Oh. So the first step is called own it. Okay. And own it means I'll just breeze through them real quick, and then we'll go back through in a little more detail. Own it means to take responsibility for creating what you're creating, because if you're not owning what you're creating, then you're giving all your power away. So you need to be holding on to that power. Right. Okay. Number 2 is you need to get clear. And a lot of people get focused on getting clear on what they do want, which is awesome. If you're stuck on what you do want, you want to look to what you don't want. Like I loved what Connie was saying earlier about focusing on what you do want. Right. Awesome. But you also want to dive into that a little deeper and get clear on why you want it. Because everything that we want, whether it's a relationship, a physical object, everything is about the emotional experience.
Right.
So that's what number 2 is about, getting clear on that emotional experience that you want. Then step 3, I call decide. So this is about committing to what you want. And sometimes you might think like, oh, why wouldn't I commit to what I want? I want it. But you'd be surprised that when you get really clear on what you want, you also have to realize sometimes you have to let some things go in order to bring in the new. And sometimes it's not as easy.
We get it. It's not as easy. We get it.
Exactly. So you sometimes have to allow yourself to want something. And you might not be ready for it. Like people in my group go through these steps, and sometimes what they thought they want, they're just not ready for, and that's okay. But at least you have that awareness. So then step 4 is one of my favorite steps. It's definitely the most intense step, and that is to believe it.
Yeah. That's what I struggle with, guys.
Yeah. So when
can't wait to know how we do it.
I have a free training that I'm going to tell you guys about at the end. And in the free training, I talk about how your belief is everything. So your belief affects your entire reality. Your reality is a reflection of your beliefs. It's a reflection of your beliefs. So if your beliefs are not aligned with your desire, it's not going to happen for you. Okay?
Correct, yes.
Okay, so step 5. Step 5 is to become it. Now, this is about stepping into the energy of whatever that is that you're desiring. You want to be a match to that energy. So this is about literally, this is great for the people who feel like they need to do something, because this is where you can physically do something, you know, whether it's about how you're carrying yourself, how you're talking to yourself, your environment. This is about the actual, tangible, physical. Is that aligned with what you want? And then step 6, last but most surely not least, and this is probably the most difficult step.
Oh crap! Yeah.
All I hear is you echoing crap.
I know. I hear the echo too.
Go ahead, Susan.
Step 6 is called let it go.
Guys are not good at letting go.
What I mean by let it go is to detach from the outcome. So some people like to call it surrendering. What it really is, when you let it go, it's not about not wanting what you want. It's impossible to not want what you want.
Right.
And it's important to want what you want. Your desires are always leading you in the right direction. Always. So it's important to want what you want, but you should not, what's the word I'm looking for? If you're putting up resistance to what is, you're not allowing. And that allowing is what brings in, it's how you receive, basically.
And that's what a lot of people struggle with.
A lot of times people get hooked on the manifestation part, like trying to create it. That's the hard part. But really, what's the hardest part for a lot of people is receiving.
Right.
So how do we, all right, so now do you want to take us, what?
Susan,
Yeah.
we, at this point, are going to take a break.
Oh.
Right? 'Cause we
Alrighty?
want to hear all about it.
Alrighty, we're taking a break.
Yes, but we want to make sure we give enough time. So we're going to take a little break, have some Bulldog clean the screen for 1,000,000 times, and then we'll be back.
And we'll go through how.
Dunkin' Donuts are always fresh. I made the donuts. We make them at least twice every day. Time to make the donuts. Not a few kinds, like supermarket. I made the donuts. Time to make the donuts. But up to 52 varieties. The donuts. Time to make the donuts. I made the donuts. Dunkin' Donuts, up to 52 varieties, fresh day and night. No supermarket can say.
After all the candles are blown out, after the last toast of the night, Cambridge paving stones with Armortech stand the test of time. Beautifully designed, built to last. Only Cambridge paving stones have Armortech, our unique process that produces a rich, distinctive color. Create your own memories with Cambridge paving stones. Visit CambridgePavers.com.
Cambridge paving stones with Armortech will always look like new.
Stretching under sedation or manipulation under anesthesia is a very gentle, very precise procedure to very slowly release any scar tissue that is formed as a result of a traumatic injury. Many people ask, how does this work? Will I get hurt? Will you stretch me too far? We only stretch the body part to its normal range of motion. After completing the post-MUA rehabilitation program, it's very common that our patients say to us, hey, I can play ball with my kid again. Hey, I can bowl again. Hey, I can enjoy hiking again. This is what makes it rewarding to us as practitioners.
And we're back.
All right, so Susan, what do we do to attract the right mate if we keep attracting the wrong person? What I know you went through the 6 steps, but
how do you specifically
how do we
attract the right
what do we
person?
have to do to really attract the person?
Okay, so if I was going through my 6 steps to attract a person, I would first, step 1 is owning it. So again, that's about standing in your power. One of the easiest ways to see if you're not is to look for where you're blaming.
Okay.
So if you're blaming, like you'll hear a lot of times, oh, the economy's bad, that's why I don't have money. You're looking outside. And one of my favorite sayings is life is not happening to you, it's happening from you. Yeah, so what's your role? What's your role in it? Okay, if you're not attracting the person that you want, what's your role in that? And a lot of something else that you want to look at when you're thinking about owning it is, I always say the good, the bad, and the ugly, because you have to get really honest with yourself with the bad and the ugly. And it's sometimes easier to do that than to also own the good. Sometimes we have trouble owning the good. So where are you deflecting what you really want? You're always attracting the wrong guy. Are you pushing away guys that may be more suitable because you're...
She's blowing bubbles over here. I'm sorry, Susan. Go ahead. It's throwing me off.
Right? Are you deflecting compliments from men that could possibly, be potential mates? Are you deflecting? Where are you deflecting the good? So you really want to look for that first, because that's going to help you stand in your power.
Okay.
And then step 2. Okay, this is very important. So I know a lot of people go into wanting to attract their soulmate or a relationship or any kind of person with the man list, that list, the golden list. Yeah. And that's awesome. Nothing wrong with the list. But what I challenge you to do is go a step deeper and start asking why you want all of those things on the list.
Now, why is that important? Why is the why important?
The why is important because that's the emotional experience that you're after, and your emotions are energy, and that is attracting like energy. So if you think that you want a certain type of guy, but really you're longing for a much different emotional experience, you're going to find you learn a lot when you do this.
Okay.
They may not be aligned. They may not be aligned. So by getting clear on that, you're really getting to the root of what you want.
Okay.
If you think you want, a guy with lots of money and fame and, taking you out all the time, but really you're longing for affection and someone to be with you at home.
Yes, I do. I long for that.
Yeah. This will help you figure that out. Okay. When you're clear, then the universe is clear on what you want him to bring you, him, her, whatever you want to call it. Okay? So that will bring you to the next step, which is the decide step. Okay? So this is where you're committing to it. And intention is threefold. So intention is what you want, it's why you want it, and it's allowing yourself to want it. And this is where it can get tricky, because you may realize something that you were not aware of, and you may realize, like, if I want this, I have to be willing to let go of this.
Okay.
And that's what you're getting clear on there. Okay.
Connie said, so letting go of losers.
Yeah.
Letting go of the losers.
So I'll tell you something. Let's go a step deeper there.
Okay.
Let go. You feel you're attracting losers, and this is what I teach in my free training. There's a benefit. You're always receiving a benefit. Mm-hmm. So even if you feel like you're attracting losers, it's because you feel safe with losers for some reason. And that may not make logical sense, but your subconscious mind feels comfortable with that. That's what your subconscious mind knows. Your subconscious mind just wants to keep you alive. That's its only job. And it knows that you lived through being with a loser.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, man.
Okay? So you're going to attract more losers. That's where you're comfortable. And this is where a lot of the belief work will come in as well. Because that's what you need to make your subconscious. Moving on to step 4, you need to find those beliefs, right? Because somewhere, if you feel you're attracting losers, remember the universe is reflecting back to you what you believe and what you believe about yourself. So I often use the example of a woman in an abused relationship. She could be the nicest, kindest, most loving, most fun, brilliant woman in the world, but she keeps attracting abusers. And it's not because she's not a great person, but she maybe was brought up that way, doesn't feel like she deserves more. So it's about digging deep into those beliefs or limiting beliefs that are really keeping you stuck in that pattern. Once you find those beliefs, this is something that drives me crazy too, and I also talk about this in the free training.
Yeah.
But a lot of there's almost like a trend around finding limiting beliefs right now. I've noticed in my world, and they give you awareness. It's great. Awareness is awesome. It's power. It shows you where to focus. But a lot of times you can get hooked on the actual limiting belief. And just like Connie was talking earlier, then people are focusing on their blocks and limiting beliefs instead of focusing on flipping it. So when the basis of changing a belief is to first spot it, then you want to flip it because it's giving you information. Use that information. Get in and out. Flip that belief into what will empower you and enable you to be able to attract what you want. And this is where things like affirmations come in, vision boards. Once you have all of this information, now you can make a very focused and strategic plan for yourself. So now you're going into your visualization exercise. There's a gazillion visualization exercises, and different ones work for different people. I myself don't really use vision boards. I use Pinterest sometimes now, but for the most part, I write, and here's why. For me, I have a very ADD type of brain, yet I'm very imaginative. So I often can't find pictures that look like what I want in my head. And the act of writing or typing it holds my focus on that image. And what you want to do when you're visualizing, whether it's a vision board, whether it's a guided meditation, whether it's writing or just thinking about something, some people can hold an image in their head. Whatever it is, you want to hold it until you feel the feelings.
I love that.
So, do you have a question?
Yeah, I love that you just said that. Now, how do you get yourself to the believing part? Say you're trying to visualize, right, the person that you want, but you're on online dating or whatever you're doing, and you keep meeting all these idiots, right?
You don't have a sister to set you up.
And you keep getting discouraged or whatever. A lot of my friends feel the same way. So how do you really get yourself to that believing part and the feeling part of that it's happening, that the expectant part that it's going to happen?
That will come. Visualization is one tool for this, and visualization works in the sense that your subconscious has zero clue what's real and what's fantasy. It does not know. That's the conscious mind. The conscious mind has a timeline. The conscious mind thinks this is physical, this is real, this is not. Subconscious, no clue. So when you're starting to feel it, like you're really there, like you're in a really good daydream, if you can get into that space where you're like not really asleep, but you're still aware of your thoughts, your subconscious thinks it's happening.
Okay.
So just like when, an athlete will visualize themselves, making the jump or getting the ball in or whatever over and over, their mind thinks that they're doing it. So it's actually creating a memory for them. It's actually, there's been so many studies and research on this where, some athletes just visualize, some athletes just practice, some do both. And the ones that are visualizing alone do just as well as the ones that visualize and practice. So it's creating it for you, if that makes sense. Okay, you're going to start making different decisions. You're going to start making different moves. You're going to behave differently. And what you really want to do with a belief, there are many different kinds of beliefs. Sometimes just realizing you have the belief is enough to shift it. I don't want people to feel like I have to do work on my beliefs. Because just realizing it is enough to have a light bulb moment and shift that belief. But then there are beliefs that are a little more tied to your identity. Maybe you grew up with it. There are people that believe that they come from past lives. So there are other things that energetically may need a little more work from you. But what you're trying to do is, if you imagine the belief as a tabletop and the legs are all of the little pieces that hold that belief in place, it's locked in place. If you start proving to yourself by finding examples, in the outside world, like I believe that rich people are greedy. There's a common one. So I believe rich people are greedy. If you start looking around and ask yourself, is that true? Do I know? Is it true that all rich people are greedy? No, it's not true, because so-and-so...
While you're on that...
while you're actually speaking of money, that's weird that you did just touch upon that. We actually have a caller about that.
Okay.
You ready? Come on, caller.
Hold on to that thought,
Put the
Susan.
speaker.
Hello?
Yes.
Caller, are you there?
Yes.
What's your name? Where are you calling from?
I'm sorry.
What is your name? Where are you calling from?
Marie from Islip.
Yeah, we love Marie.
All right, what's your question? What's your question?
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yes.
Marie from Islip.
We love you really.
What's your question?
Marie from Islip. I love the show so far. Can you just briefly tell us how to attract? Can you tell us how to attract money?
She wants to know how to attract money, Susan.
Perfect. Turn the computer off.
Tell her to turn Can you tell us how to attract money?
Can you shut the computer off in the background, Marie? I'm raising the volume. All right, so Susan, she wants to know how to attract money.
So I actually have a whole bonus masterclass that I give called Easy Money.
Okay.
And it's how to create an abundant mindset and beliefs around money and how to use the 6 steps for money. And it's really the same 6 steps work for everything. And you can certainly attract money. But the way I look at money, what's worked for me is to actually not focus on the money, because money is actually a how. It's a byproduct. Okay. So I would ask you, what do you want the money for? Because remember, there's an emotional experience attached to it. So maybe it's freedom. For me, it's freedom. Maybe it's security is a big one. Once you get in touch with those emotions, why you want the money, then it becomes, what are your beliefs around those emotions, and you want to start acting out those emotions. How can you feel those emotions now? So whether it's through visualization, whether it's through step 5, become it, if you want to feel rich, look around you. Does your environment make you rich? Do you have broken furniture and junk all over? Does that make you feel rich? Are you wearing ripped underwear? How it makes itself. Seriously.
How do you mean me with ripped underwear?
Feel good. Oh. Think about how you're talking to yourself in your head. Do you, are you talking down to yourself?
Right.
Are you treating yourself the way that you should be treating yourself? Because really, the secret to everything is self-love. So
let's touch upon that,
Wait,
Susan.
hold on. We don't get yeah.
What?
Commercial.
Commercial again? Oh my God,
Dude,
guys.
it's fucking break time.
I'm into this. I could talk about this all night.
Wrap it up.
What do you mean wrap it up?
Break time.
All right, fine.
All right, guys, go to a break. Refill your Tito's and come back in like 2.
Hi, I'm Tom Mealy from Madhousetv, and when I'm not at the studio, I'm here at the Harrison Law Group. This is my real job. And this January 2015, Brett and I are putting together a show called Legal Straight Talk. It'll be aired on Cablevision as well as here at Madhousetv. You need to tune in. This information that we're going to be giving the public is the real deal. It's all about what you should do, what you shouldn't do. So tune in this January 2015 for a new episode of Legal Straight Talk.
Stretching under sedation or manipulation under anesthesia is a very gentle, very precise procedure to very slowly release any scar tissue that is formed as a result of a traumatic injury. Many people ask, how does this work? Will I get hurt? Will you stretch me too far? We only stretch the
I think this is a good time to tell you. You're doing okay, Mom. I can call you Mom, right? I know we haven't known each other very long, but you seem like a real keeper. You're not perfect. There was that strained carrots incident, but you're trying. You pick up my bottle every time I toss it out of my stroller. That's high comedy to an 8-month-old. You hum the Barber of Seville when you wash my hair. So cool. And your rub-downs are out of this world. Anyway, I want you to know how much I appreciate you. You know, right? How much I love you? You're doing okay, Mom.
For professional motorcycle transport and towing, think Kickstart Fabrications Motorcycle Towing. Proudly serving all of Long Island, we feature expert handling and 24/7 service. So send a limo for your toy with Kickstart Fabrications Motorcycle Towing.
Yo, what's up, y'all? This is me, DMC, in the place to be, the greatest MC in history. There will never be an MC greater than me. And right about now, the only place for you to be is with the one and only Madhousetv. You are the man.
Thank you. I'm good.
And we're back.
Self-love.
So, Susan, before break, you referenced self-love. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yeah, so it really all comes down to that, because without that, that's where all of our limiting beliefs stem from. You know, not feeling good enough, not feeling like we deserve it. If you trace back any single one of your limiting beliefs, it's going to be, I don't deserve it, I'm not good enough, or I'm not worthy. And when you can cultivate more self-love in your life, you then are a magnet. You're a magnet. So for whatever it is, you know, and that's when it comes to relationships. This is what I wanted to get to with. I know you want to talk more about step 4, Chrissy.
Yes.
But while we're on self-love, I want to talk about become it.
Okay.
Because when it comes to relationships, and become it actually helps reinforce new beliefs as well. When you're physically embodying that, if you want someone to love and cherish you, you need to be loving and cherishing yourself first. So become it is really great for attracting relationships. If you want passion, be passionate. Find something that you're passionate about. If you want, like I said, to be loved and cherished, how are you taking care of yourself in that way? You know, and again, your environment, what you're doing, how you're behaving, and the things that you're saying to yourself are so important.
And most people don't love themselves.
Exactly. No, I don't know one human that loves themselves completely and has no limiting beliefs.
Right. So what are some things people can work on and do to work on loving themselves?
So one of the biggest things is affirmations. And affirmations can be tricky. A lot of, if you're just staring in the mirror and say you want to lose weight and you want to weigh 120 pounds and you weigh 160 and you're like, I weigh 120 pounds, I weigh 120 pounds, I weigh 120 pounds. And your conscious mind is like, the hell you do? You do not.
You don't keep drinking Tito's. You're not going to weigh 120 pounds, biatch.
Tito's you can.
Right. So it's about easing your way into, like, that's why it's good to kind of say, I'm open to losing weight, or I'm open to meeting a different type of mate or significant other, or whatever you want to call it. I'm open, I'm willing. Using these words as you talk to yourself, remember your subconscious mind needs to feel safe, and the subconscious mind is the one that's doing the work. So it needs to feel safe, and by easing your way in, it's a lot easier to feel like you can believe that you are willing to let something new in than to just jump right to what you want. And once that gets comfortable, then you kick it up a notch. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah.
So that goes for beliefs as well.
Right. That brings us to what I really want to know. How do you get yourself to the expectant part of really believing that it is going to happen?
So all of
that's
these
what
things,
a lot of people struggle with.
all of these things. And in my program, I give a whole list of different ways that you can do it and different tools you can use. Visualization and psychic mediums are actually my two favorite. I use, when you visit a psychic medium, this might be a little woo-woo for this crowd, I'm not sure, but it's really what I use. I use visualization, and then if I'm working on something big, I couple that with psychic mediums, because I've used psychics since I was 17, and what they're seeing is what you're creating. So when they are seeing what I'm writing out in my visualization, that helps me believe it. And I've had enough experiences with them that I feel like I can believe them. I have ones that I trust, etc. If that's something that you're interested in, play with that. Yes. The other thing is visualization alone will do it. You can change your outside world by changing your inside mind. And as well as, like I was talking about, the tabletop. So you want to show yourself that it's not true. If you grew up and your parents said rich people are greedy, rich people are greedy, rich people are greedy, you're not going to want to be rich because you think that's bad. Right. Your subconscious mind thinks it's bad. It's safe to not be rich, or it's safe to have to work hard for the money. So you need to, find the benefit, find what you're gaining from that. And you're gaining maybe approval from your family, right? So you have to prove to yourself that it is safe to be rich, that there are rich people who are not greedy. And it can be as simple as looking around you and, opening your mind to, okay, this person is wealthy, so that means that belief can't be true. When you do that enough, all those table legs are getting knocked out. And there are so many other tools. Like a lot of the things that I'm talking about, like visualization and doing things like that in your mind, are NLP tricks. Like NLP is great for shifting and creating new beliefs. Okay. It's the repetition. So it's sometimes you can decide on something and set your intention and it will manifest. But if it's not, or you're getting resistance, that means you have a little belief work to do. And it's that repetition of, like my move, I just used my 6 steps to create this move. And I love my lifestyle. And I knew that this would take a little bit of repetition. So I visualized for a couple of months very repetitively. Okay. And another trick that I use when I visualize is I'll play a certain playlist. And when you then go back and play that playlist, after a while, it becomes an anchor for the feelings and the thoughts that you were visualizing. True. So I had a certain playlist that I would play every morning when I was doing my little exercise. And then later in the day when I was working or cleaning or whatever, I would be playing that music. So that same thing is going on in my subconscious mind. Make sense?
Yeah. Is that how you get into vibrational match to be, like, say you're trying to attract somebody. How do you get to be a vibrational match for that?
All of this is getting you to be a vibrational match. All of it. So if you'll know by step 3 whether or not you're there, because you can decide something. Like I manifest things immediately all the time. And that's because I was a vibrational match to it. We all do. Right. Whatever's in your reality right now, you're a vibrational match to. So if you want something else and it's not coming, that's where you do the believe it, become it work, or the letting go. If you have the belief, but you're just not able to allow it. Usually, if you need to be at a place where you're expecting and believing in order for you to allow it.
And that's where visualization comes in, right?
Visualization, all of those tools. EFT is another one.
I love that. I used to do that. I love it.
Emotional freedom technique.
See, a lot of people don't know about that.
So
do you
that's
teach
our
that?
next episode.
Emotional freedom technique. I don't teach it. I offer a bonus called "What the fuck is EFT?" in my. It's WTF.
I love that name. That's awesome.
I'm not allowed to say that.
So
Yeah,
yes,
you can
you
say it.
totally are.
We're-
We're
it's
on the
all right.
internet. No one's watching. I'm only kidding.
Come on, don't say that.
I know. I'm not. So can you tell us about your freebie? Because we want everyone to
Yes.
cash in on your freebie.
So I offer a free training. It's a 3-part video series, and it goes to exactly how the law of attraction works. So not just what it is, but how it's actually working.
Okay.
And it gives you that kind of foundational awareness of what's going on. I give you one exercise for that. And then the second video is the top 6 mistakes that people make when they're using the law of attraction. And that runs through that and tells you what to do about them.
Okay.
Then the third video is the worst thing that you can do with a limiting belief. And I also give you my belief flipping framework.
Oh,
So
I love that.
that's in the third video there.
So where does everybody go to get this?
So you can go to the website. It's called easypeasyloa.com.
EasyPeasyLOA.com. And where else can anybody find you? On Facebook? Where do we follow you?
My main website is susanf.com. And I have a lot of other free content on there, blog posts. And then the video training, easypeasyloa.com.
EasyPeasyLOA.com. Go to it and hire Susan. She's amazing.
She is amazing.
You're going to manifest your soulmate and your dream life.
Exactly.
And on Facebook, can anybody find you on Facebook?
It can, but I don't know my thing off.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
EasyPeasyLOA.com.
Yeah, exactly.
You better hire her. She's amazing.
She's awesome.
I'm going to be calling you ASAP tomorrow.
LOA at its best.
Should we do our...
Selfie? You ready for selfie time?
even though Susan's in another state?
What should I do? Just stay here?
No, just stay here. I'm going to put a crown on your face.
What the? Oh, wait, guys, I don't even know if I have it on. Guys, it wasn't on. All right, ready? Is it on her?
Looks kind of weird. Hold on.
It was off, guys. Hold on. Is she in it?
She is.
Am I in it?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm like frozen.
It looks very odd, but whatever.
I took 1,000,000.
Yeah.
We love you, Susan. Thank you.
Thank you,
You're
everyone.
awesome.
Don't forget,
Oh,
easy.
and the Belmont Stakes tomorrow. Don't forget, 82nd Airborne will be jumping out of airplanes.
And
there's-
don't forget to get your Madhouse television
Book.
book edition.
And the Black Knights will be playing at the Belmont Stakes.
He's trying to. No, he's looking at something.
Love you. Thank you.
Bye.